Gaslighting is a term most of us have heard, and it's in the news, it's in the literature a lot, in relationships specifically, but it doesn't only happen in relationships. It's basically someone who is toxic, who is manipulating, who is using their power, their control tactics to keep you off center, off balance. They want you to rethink. They want you to change your perceptions. And although we're going to focus on how it is in a personal relationship, you'll see gaslighters all over. They're at work, they're in politics, they're in world news, they're in, people who may befriend a friend of yours. If you have a friend who had a bad time with a boyfriend or girlfriend, it is highly likely that person had some of the tactics. So who are the gaslighters? Well, many of them are now called in a category of narcissists, but we don't have that many narcissists. We have a lot of people that are acting narcissists or have tendencies, but they may not be diagnosed that way. They're in antisocial personality disorders. They're in politicians. They're in teachers. They're in world leaders. They're in the news. They're high in media. Media is full of them. They're sexual harassers. They're con artists. They're cult leaders. They're racists. They're domestic abusers. And where I see the most of them are in relationships when people are newly dating. Sometimes I will see this disorder in a marriage that has been around for years. But if I do, I will also see other forms of abuse. When you're dating, there's usually, in the beginning especially, very few other signs of abuse except the gaslighting, where you're starting to question your own sanity. If you're going out with someone and you start feeling that way, it's a really good idea to listen to your gut, because what I would recommend right away is ending the relationship if it's possible. If you're still in that place and you're not sure, because they are a great con artist and they can change on the flip of a coin, let me give you some ways that you can look and find out, or go back in your dating history and identify some of these so that you'll know, okay, I gotta stay away. This person is poison for me. Okay, the first thing, they lie about things you know are true. They just lie. They lie because they can. They don't care. They have no remorse. They just lie. They accuse you of doing things that are wrong that you're doing. And of course, they're right. They call you crazy, emotionally unbalanced, or too sensitive. That's a big one. They undermine you in subtle ways. And when I say subtle, I mean subtle. Sometimes a client will come in and say, I don't know if this was on purpose. I don't even know if I'm reading into this. Because the first thing I notice in my clients, and you probably can see it in a friend if they're dating a gaslighter, is they're unsure more. They used to be more confident, more sure. Now they're really unsure. And you notice their self-esteem goes down. These are two of the first symptoms I usually will see. Gaslighters will deflect and distract. If you catch them in something, they're going to avoid it, and they're going to deflect. They're going to distract you with something else or get you involved in something completely else so that you don't question them. They cannot stand or tolerate being held accountable. So what do you notice? Well, the first thing I'm going to tell you, or what do you do? If you notice that one of the people, that you hang out with, specifically if you're dating, has any of these tendencies, you've got to leave. Don't try to make it right. Don't get caught into, but I love them, because I'm telling you, this person is going to hurt you. And if they haven't hurt you already, they're going to hurt you, and it's going to be more severe. Because in order for them to groom you and get you in, they start pretty mild, but it will get worse. And once they have you completely committed to them, then it's much more dangerous and it's much harder to get away from them. Okay, minimize contact. That's the very first thing. Just start peeling yourself away. The more you start doing it consistently, the more they're going to notice it, the more they're going to start doing things that are going to try to pull you in. So what sometimes helps the most is if you just do little minimal things, especially if you just started dating the person. It's easier to pull back minimally, a little bit at a time, and eventually fade. Don't believe what they're saying or give them too much of your interests or real estate in your mind, because they don't deserve it. They're trying to control you, and the more power you give them, the more they will take. If you retaliate or get enraged, they'll try to make you look bad, or they'll act like a victim to render your sympathy. So it's important that you say all the time, I'm just confused, I don't know. Even if you're really angry at them, because you don't want to flip it. You don't want them to flip it and turn into the victim, because then you're going to get sucked into it that way. So acting confused, saying you're confused more than I'm angry, is going to be a wonderful tactic for you to help you create distance and get away. Talk to friends or colleagues. Tell other people, because if they haven't started trying to isolate you yet, they will. And so it's important that you have a counterbalance of friends who go, that person is cuckoo, that person is poison and toxic, you need to get away. And those friends can many times be the biggest supporters and actually intimidate the person, so they will leave you alone at the end. Remind yourself of all your good qualities and successes, and as much as you can, repeat to yourself positive affirmations. That's going to help destroy or minimize the negative stuff that they have said or twisted to make you believe about yourself. Journal every day. The more you have written down, if it does go to court or if it does get legal, the better you're going to be able to fight this person. And lastly, changing jobs or just getting out of the relationship are two of the best ways therapeutically to get away from this. After you get away from this person, therapy is ideal, because the therapist can come in, help you rebuild your self-esteem, which is going to take a hit after dating one of these people. And not only that, but the therapist can validate for you, you are so lucky, and you're going to need that, because your heart may be broken. You may have left kind of feeling like it was the wrong decision. A therapist can help validate you did the right thing. You actually saved yourself. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.